Hi, students. This is a virtual workshop by our folks, wonderful folks at Single Stop on financial planning for students. Some tips for you. As you're creating your academic plan in Unit 4, you need to back it up with a financial plan as well, because finances, economic concerns are one of the major reasons students have to maybe uh, fall off their pathway for a bit, and we don't want that to happen to you. So I am going to mute myself and let Melissa Bartley take over. She's going to start the presentation, I believe, but we have Sharon Williams and Tamika Jackson as well here to present. Okay.
Yes. All right. I'm going to just share my screen really quickly. Uh, okay. You can see that, right? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right. So thank you. Thank you so much, Laura, for having us. We wanted to develop this workshop because what we've noticed, especially since we've all been home, is that we've been having a lot of requests for funds for different things like tuition, for food, for utilities. So we wanted to kind of put this together to give students the information about different resources for them to be able to pay for their degree and also to offset the cost of their degree in some kind of unconventional ways, ways that they might not have thought about. So I'm going to just introduce myself first since I started talking. I'm Melissa Bartley. I'm the assistant director and the financial education coordinator for Single Stop, and I have been at the college for, it'll be 4 years in January.
So my name is Tamika. Hello, everyone. I am the director of Single Stop in the Student Care Network. I've been with the college since February 2020.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon Williams, and I'm the single stop coordinator slash specialist. And I've been at the college for 2 years.
Sharon?
That's me.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to briefly tell you a little bit about our program. We have been at the college since 2013. Our program provides all of our services are free to students, and our services are meant to help you stay in school. One of the things that we do is financial counseling sessions, which is this is a session right now. Melissa also can provide those to you in a one-on-one setting. In a normal situation, you would schedule an appointment with her and go to campus, and she would sit down and talk with you about things that might be pertaining to your own financial fitness, whether it be budgeting, um, loans, um, your daily expenses, things like that. She can tailor your session according to what your needs are. If you are interested in doing one, she can also do that via Zoom. Another service that we do is we provide free tax preparation services for our students. You provide your documents, and your taxes are done free of charge by a certified tax preparer through January through June. We also provide legal consultations to students in a few different areas, one in which is housing, benefits, whether you have applied for public benefits such as Medicaid or SNAP and have been uh, denied. If your unemployment benefits have been denied, we can also assist you with that. If you have a situation with PICO, PGW, the water company, we can set you up with an attorney and you can discuss your situation with them. We also have an attorney that helps students with an expungement. We understand that you might have had a situation when you were younger and you were told it was going to be expunged, and that has not happened. Um, provide your documents and about your case situation, and the attorney will assist you in that regard. We also have an attorney that assists with immigration matters, whether it be applying for a green card, renewing your green card. If you are someone who's been here for at least 5 years and are interested in applying for the United States naturalization certificate and have questions about that application process, that attorney can assist you with that. Also, if you have questions about your status, possibly changing your status, she can assist you with that. We are doing referrals virtually. If you're interested, you can reach out to us and we will send your information to the immigration attorney. We also do, and we understand that students come to college and need health insurance, which is something that everyone needs. Whether if you are interested in applying for Medicaid, we know a lot of the allied health students need, or it's a requirement for your course of study to have insurance. If you are interested, we are doing Medicaid applications over the phone and also via Zoom. And today is November the 1st, and we have people who might not qualify for Medicaid, but are possibly eligible for the Affordable Health Care, the ACA insurance through the marketplace. And that usually goes from November 1st until December the 15th. If you're interested in that, please reach out to us and we can set you up with the healthcare navigator that can assist you with that application. As I said, we do public benefit applications with students over the phone and also via Zoom. We do provide troubleshooting assistance if you were turned down. We do have the ability to reach out to the local county assistance offices and the leaders there to see what is going on with your situation. And we also provide referrals to food banks. If you have children, we provide referrals to the C Campus Grant on Campus, which is through the Women's Outreach Advocacy Center, and also CCIS.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier some of the things that we wanted to accomplish through having this workshop. But what we definitely want to see is for students to have a clear understanding of what the cost of attendance is at CCP. You know, a lot of times you come to school and you're not kind of realizing everything that it takes to be a student, all the money and expenses that you may have as a result of being a student. We want you to be able to identify available resources that are on campus and as well as in the community that will help you to offset the cost of your CCP degree. And most importantly, we want you to feel empowered as a student to utilize any available resources while you're at CCP and beyond. So first, we want to take a look at what the cost of attendance is for students at CCP. This is per semester. So no, that's not just tuition. I know the tuition at CCP is about like $2,300 if you're a full-time student. So this is what it would look like for a student that's taking about 13 credits. So you're looking at tuition, you're looking at, you know, books and supplies, you're looking at transportation, of course, because this is a commuter campus. And of course you have to eat, right? When you're on campus, you do, you know, either bring your lunch or, you know, partake in the food trucks, or, you know, now that we're home, you know, all day, we have to make sure that we do have enough food, you know, for throughout the day as well, especially if we have children in the home. And then the question marks are miscellaneous. So those are like unforeseen expenses. Say you're a student that drives, you know, you also drive for work. Something happens to your car, that's an unforeseen expense. Okay, so that's something that's also taken into consideration. So we're looking at approximately $3,679 per semester for your CCP expenses. So the question is, why is the FAFSA necessary? We oftentimes will come across students who are applying for different funds on campus, and then we notice that they didn't complete their FAFSA. Why? because maybe they have had financial aid before. There was an issue with their loan where they went into default. They know they're not going to get any funds. However, it is still important to complete your FAFSA because you may be able to qualify for some other funding through the school because you completed your FAFSA. Like that, it's a requirement for some of the scholarships at the college. But the FAFSA does determine your financial aid eligibility, right? So it determines whether or not you will qualify for grants or loans or even work study. So work study being, campus positions. And believe it or not, even though we're not on campus, there are still students who are participating in work study. Single Stop right now, we currently have 2 work study students that are still working for us right now. And like I said, the FAFSA is a requirement for some of the scholarships at CCP. So even if you don't, even if I'm not going to get any money, I'm not going to waste my time doing the FAFSA, there are still opportunities for you to get funding. So it is still a good idea for you to complete that document. This is something that I wanted to kind of take a look at. I often, when we were in the office, I would often have to go into the students' Pride portal just so they could see where they could locate different things regarding financial aid. I have to just give a disclaimer. We are not the financial aid office, and this in no place, takes the place of you contacting financial aid or even attending their financial planning workshop. I just don't want to seem like we're stepping on any toes. However, I do want you to have, this information. So this is in your Pride portal under the student tab, when you sign in under the student tab. And when you click on the financial aid button, you'll see that there's a drop-down menu here, right? And this is where you'll find one very important thing, the bookstore credit. When you click on this button here, it'll ask you what term, and then when you click on, say, fall 2020, it will tell you whether or not you have bookstore credit. We have had students who have come to Single Stop asking for assistance with books. They need $400 for their books, and they had no idea that they had something called bookstore credit. So, we were able to navigate, show them how to get to the bookstore credit, and let them know how they were able to use that. So that is something that's very important. Also, this is where you accept your financial aid award. Tamika's going to get into the loans a little bit in her section, but I just wanted you to know everything that you need to know is under this financial aid tab. And if there is any students who want to go through that more in detail or want to have a more clear understanding of how to navigate that, they can contact us and we can schedule an appointment. That's a part of a financial planning session. That's also something that I do because it is important for you to understand your financial aid and how it works for you so that you don't end up having unnecessary debt. Okay, Tamika is going to take over from here.
Okay. So paying for college, there are grants. And basically you have Pell and FIA grants. And grants do not have to be paid back. They are award-based or they're based on income or financial need. Now you have the CARES Act funds. The CARE stands for Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security. So you do have CARES Act funds. These funds, the college received these funds to assist students who were experienced some sort of financial disruption following the coronavirus pandemic. Now, there are specific requirements to determining eligibility for CARES Act funds. Now, again, these funds are not managed through us. They're actually managed through the Office of Financial Aid. So if you want to learn more about CARES Act funds, please reach out to the Office of Financial Aid, and they will be able to answer your questions. Also, in terms of loans, you have loans that are subsidized versus unsubsidized. Subsidized loans basically means that your interest is covered while you're in college. Unsubsidized means that you will accrue interest while you're in college. Now, Melissa, you may go into this, so I won't touch too much on this, but basically, or the Office of Financial Aid may even provide some education on this, how to address the interest that will be accrued on unsubsidized loans while you're in school. But that is something to think about. If you're taking out a loan that is unsubsidized, you will accrue interest while you're in school. If the loan is subsidized, it will not accrue interest, but once you graduate or finish, you will. Now, loans typically have to be repaid 6 months after graduation or 6 months following the time you've stopped your studies. So also keep that in mind. And in terms of scholarships, here's something else as well. There is, in terms of scholarships, we also have the general scholarship application. That is one basic application that students complete, and they will be considered for multiple funds. However, at the same time, students are required to submit a teacher or faculty recommendation letter with the application. Emergency funds is another a possible scholarship that students could benefit from. So for instance, the basic needs funds. The basic needs funds are limited, but they are in place to assist students with unmet needs, which can range from food, utilities, to school-related transportation fees. We have the emergency funds. And for emergency funds, the requirements, the guidelines are a little more specific, but I'll just run through the guidelines briefly. Students have to have been enrolled in the previous semester. Students must currently be enrolled in the current semester for a minimum of 6 credits. They must have a GPA of 2.0, and funds can be used for expenses such as tuition, food, books, or transportation. Now, some specific needs outside of the areas that I mentioned will be considered on a case-by-case situation. Now, also, one important thing to know about this, Melissa mentioned earlier that students should still apply for FAFSA. Well, to be considered for emergency funds, students should also have a FAFSA on file. I will also tell you this, please always check your CCP email, because we will communicate with you, or some of these other funds like awards and scholarships, they will communicate by your CCP email. They won't contact you at your Gmail or your Yahoo accounts. So always remember that. And then we have the Finish Line Scholarship. The Finish Line Scholarship are for those students who have, they have less than 15 credits before they complete their studies. And it is also, it is merit-based, so it has a GPA minimum, and this scholarship could help students pay for the remainder of their classes if they're at that 15 credit or less marker.
Karen?
Okay, so something else that we do as a program is when students come into the office, there's different ways in which we can help you offset the cost of attending CCP. One of them is, and it's something that we know a lot of students are facing, is food insecurity. There are different ways in which we can help you get access to food resources. One of them is applying for food stamps, also known as SNAP. We do understand that students have sometimes a bad view or might be ashamed about applying. But if you are in need of food, it's a good way for you to make sure you are eating and getting some type of sustenance as you are trying to learn, particularly in the online virtual process that we're in right now. If a student is interested, they can reach out to us. And again, we can assist people with the application over the phone, or some people prefer Zoom, and we are able to do that. The college also has what is called the Snack Rack program, in which certain offices and departments are a snack rack drop-off site. And basically what a snack rack is if you're interested in between classes, like I said, if we were on campus, you could just come to whatever office that has those, and it's food. Sometimes it's granola bar, sometimes it's ramen noodles, something that's going to help fuel your brain as you're learning. Right now, if you're interested in getting a snack rack, you have to make an appointment on campus, and there is a drop-off system. And then there are local community food resources also that we can provide to you, which are some of the local food banks. When COVID came upon the scene, the city in particular has a listing of places that are distributing food, in which you can pick up food. You don't need to present any information. No one's going to judge you. They put the food in your car. It's you're not touching anyone. And then I think the food, for, or in some instances, in the boxes, it's about a week's worth of different types of food in the box. There also are places that are giving out fruits and vegetables. Um, in regards to transportation, if you are interested, if you are someone who is receiving food stamps or SNAP benefits, or you are on the household SNAP grant, there is a program on campus called the Keys Transportation Program, which on campus is actually located directly to our office, right next to our office on main campus. You would set up, contact them. They double check to make sure that you are receiving SNAP benefits, and then you have to apply, and you are provided with a monthly transportation pass. Uh, we also assist with childcare. The Women's Outreach Advocacy Center, Dr. Curry is the director of that. They got what is called a C Campus childcare grant, and it assists students with childcare for school-age children. Also, the CCIS, which is now the Early Learning Resource Center. If you are interested in that, you can apply through that as well. We are in the beginnings of the winter season, and if you are someone who applies for LIHEAP or is interested in applying for LIHEAP, we can assist you with that. That is a grant. Some people can get up to several $100s or more to assist you with your PICO bill, your PGW bill. It helps, particularly if you have a high heating cost. There are also budget programs, CRP, and also TAP that can assist you with your utilities throughout the months.
I just wanted to piggyback off of one thing that Sharon talked about. The KEYS program is a program for students who get either food stamps or cash assistance or both. It's not just for transportation. That is one of the benefits of the program, though, is that if you are a part of the KEYS program, you could also qualify for free public transportation. Okay. All right, so just briefly wanted to go over a scenario with you all. This is typical of a student that we might see in single stop that is referred by a professor. So Jeff is a 23-year-old student at CCP. He works part-time, earning approximately $1,100 per month. He pays $750 per month for rent and utilities for an apartment that he shares with a roommate. Jeff also spends approximately $100 per month for public transportation. He has exhausted all of his federal grants and must now take out loans or pay out of pocket for his remaining 4 classes at the college. This semester, he also needs $260 for books. Although Jeff shares meals with his roommates, he often struggles with having money to purchase groceries. Jeff is stressed about not having the funds for books, and he talks with his professor, who refers him to Single Stop. This is typically how we receive referrals, through word of mouth, or mostly from professors referring students. So this is Jeff. Jeff, back before March, came into our office, and we sat with him. He completed our intake form, and based on the intake form, we figured that Jeff would qualify for several things. So based on his responses, Jeff was qualified for $200 per month in food stamps. Since he was able to get food stamps, we were able to refer him to the KEYS program, where he also qualifies for free monthly public transportation. So that takes away that $100 that he's spending per month on transportation. Because Jeff has the PGW bill in his name, the gas bill, he gets assistance with the LIHEAP grant application, and he's awarded $800 in credit toward his bill. Jeff is also referred to and awarded the Finish Line Scholarship, which will take care of the remainder of the tuition for his classes. So remember, he had 4 classes to take, He completed the Finish Line Scholarship, was awarded the funds, so now he doesn't have to worry about the tuition costs for those classes. Jeff is also referred to the Basic Needs Fund, and he's awarded $260 for his books. So that takes care of that. He doesn't have to worry about, having to purchase his books. Jeff is also reminded that he can return to Single Stop during tax season for free tax preparation, where he may qualify for up to an additional $1,000 on top of his refund for the American Opportunity Credit. This is something that a lot of students aren't aware of. When you are attending any type of higher education classes towards a degree, I should say, 2-year or 4-year, you can qualify for what's called the American Opportunity Credit. These funds can be accessed even if you aren't working, if you didn't work that year before. So we have students who will actually come in that didn't work their prior year, but they bring in what's called a 1098-T. And that's a form that you actually get through the school that comes through the financial aid department. And they're able to use that and get $1,000 in a tax refund simply because they were a student. Now, if you're a student who works, you can get your regular refund on top of the $1,000 that, so another way to, I guess, offset the cost of your attendance. This is money that can be set aside for you for later, for emergencies, or if you need something like a laptop, like anything like that. Those are the things that we do. We try to connect students with different resources to offset the cost of their attendance at the college. And one thing I did want to mention is the way that you access these scholarships that we were talking about is through your MyCCP portal. So you would go to your student quick links, and there's going to be a drop down tab, and you'll see all of those things there. You'll see the CARES grant, you'll see the emergency funds, you'll see the general scholarship application. All of those applications are there. And the general application, I cannot stress enough, is totally underused. If you have a competitive GPA, apply for the general scholarship. There's money there. Okay, and now Tamika's going to talk with you about connecting with Single Stop.
Yes, so there are 2 ways to connect with Single Stop. We are available by email. Our email address is singlestop@ccp.edu. Again, it's singlestop@ccp.edu. We check our email several times a day, so you typically will receive a response within 24 hours or less. We are also available by live chat. So if you go to our website, and I put both of our websites here. I'm sorry, the websites are both included here. Melissa included them for you guys. There is when you go to that site, you will see I guess a button or an image on the screen that says talk with us now. And you will click on that and you will be able to communicate with a representative from our office. So that is another feature that we have available. Okay, so the self-screening tool. Oftentimes we communicate with students and we say, hey, please complete your Single Stop profile or your the Single Stop self-screening tool. And students are often uncertain regarding where to find that tool. So if you go to our website and you scroll all the way down towards the bottom, you'll see a section that says, have questions? Connect with Single Stop staff using the self-screening tool. Basically, you will click on which campus you typically are at. If you're at main campus, that's fine. If you typically use the regional centers, you could click on that link as well. And it would take you directly into the self-screening tool. You will complete that. And then what happens is you'll get at the end of you completing that profile, the technology, the system will tell you what benefits you may qualify for or which resources are in your area. And then what we'll do is we also get that self-screening tool. We see your profile, we review your profile, and then oftentimes if you qualify for SNAP benefits or if there's something else that you may qualify for, you'll receive an email from us stating, thank you, we've received your Single Stop profile and we noticed that you may qualify for SNAP benefits. Please email us for more information. Now, again, we can only communicate. We communicate typically through your CCP email. So always remember that if your Gmail is there, we may try to communicate that way, but we can't provide so much information because of privacy reasons. It's preferred that we communicate through your CCP email. Okay, and connect with Single Stop. That's actually what it looks like. Once you click on that link to complete your self-assessment tool, this is the page that you will see. You would start by entering your zip code, and then you will fill out your basic demographic information and a few other pieces of information, which include your education, whether or not you work, how many hours you work, and other individuals in your household. If you have other individuals in your household for whom you're responsible for, please list and include them as well, because those individuals are also calculated in regards to the benefits that you may be eligible for.
All right, this is our last slide. This is so
This is the
important.
best.
I know this is being recorded and this is November 2nd. We just wanted to make sure that, students do understand that a lot of things that are on the ballot do pertain to them. A lot of these things that we talked about as far as, even funding your education and benefits and things like that are on the ballot. So just make sure that you vote. We're not going to tell you how to vote. Just make sure that you vote. And if you run into any problems, there's a phone number at the bottom there where you can call and hopefully are able to get that resolved. And this is how you contact us. Again, Tamika mentioned our email address at singlestop@ccp.edu. This is our main office phone number. Of course, we are working from home, but we do still check our voicemail just in case there are students who do, and faculty and staff that will leave voice messages for us. So we do check that as well. And then, of course, you also have the live chat option. Laura, did you have any questions that you think the students might have, or?
So I will have Mohammed or Emanuela. Do you have any questions before I ask mine? Emanuela, yes.
I don't have any question.
No questions?
Yeah.
My question.
Everything was clear.
Yeah, a lot of resources. My question is always, what is one, bit of false information, myth that you see is common with students, either about single stop or finances? Is there anything you hear over and over again? You cover a lot of stuff, so nothing jumps out as a.
Well, go ahead, Melissa. Yeah.
I would say, I would think that, one of the main concerns that students have is the confidentiality piece. Just making sure we do ask a lot of information on those screeners. And I know a lot of times students are like, well, why are they asking me this? But we do want students to know that we don't share that information with anyone. The only people that see that information is Sharon, myself, and Tamika. And that information is the same type of questions that they would ask like on the SNAP application or on the health insurance application. And that's kind of what helps us to determine, hey, this person might qualify, and, they may have been reaching out to us for one thing, but they complete that assessment form. And then we, are able to help them connect with a bunch of different resources just based off of the information that they provided. But we do, just want to make sure the students know all of the information is held in the strictest of confidence. We don't share with any of the offices on campus.
Thank you for mentioning that. That is something some students are concerned about. Tamika, did you have anything?
Well, yeah, I actually just kind of wanted to touch base regarding something Melissa mentioned earlier. A lot of students think that there isn't a need to complete the FAFSA, but regardless of what you believe may or may not be, if you've attended school in the past or whatever the case may be, please complete the FAFSA regardless, because a lot of the awards that are available can just depend on whether or not a student has submitted a FAFSA. So always please submit that FAFSA whenever possible. If it's not possible, please contact the Office of Financial Aid to discuss, because there may even be, we've had some situations where possibly students' parents couldn't provide certain pieces of information. And it may even be as simple as calling the Office of Financial Aid and they can walk you through that process.
Thank you. That's great. All right, that was wonderful. Oh, yes, Sharon.
Something that I think about a lot is we encounter students sometimes who say, or they know of people, I know so-and-so needs to come and talk to you. but they're afraid or they're ashamed.
Mhm.
And we tell this to people, there's no shame in asking for help. That is a sign of strength. That is not a sign of weakness. And you don't have to struggle. College is hard enough, but being in a situation, if you're dealing with something, that only is going to burden your ability to uh, be the best self that you can be in the classroom. So if it's not you, and you have a friend or you know of a friend of a friend, encourage them to reach out to us. We are a non-judgment zone, the three of us. And a lot of students have shared with us a lot of different things that we do not share with anybody else other than amongst the three of us. So I encourage you to, think about that, spread the word and let people know that it's a safe place, a safe area, and our job is to help. So that's our role, and that's what we strive to do.
That's an outstanding place to stop. Thank you very much. All important points, wonderful information. I'm going to post up the recording in all our 16 sections, and hopefully you'll hear from some of our students. And thank you for reminding students to vote as well. I know this is coming quickly, so some students may be listening after Election Day, but if you're listening now, please vote. That is so important. All right, thank you so much. Perfect.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks for having us.
Thank
Sure.
you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Oh,
Thank you.
Mohammed and Emanuela. I wrote down your names, but the Single Stop staff also wanted your emails. So can you please chat your name, your instructor's name? Emanuela, I know you're in my class, and
Okay.
also your CCP email. So
Okay.
put that in the chat at the bottom before you leave.
Okay.
Okay. And hopefully they're there and hearing me. If not, we can probably find from their names as well. I did write down their names.
Yeah, I have their names written down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.